Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you've ever wondered whether those old Canadian pennies in your drawer could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, you're in the right place. Today we're counting down the top 3 most valuable Canadian 1-cent coins that collectors are paying big money for, from rare errors to key dates. These tiny copper treasures hold huge surprises, so grab your coin jar and let's see if you might be holding a small fortune in your hands. Let's get started. First up, start by setting the scene for 1980 Canada, entering a new decade. Coinage technology and processes of the Royal Canadian Mint and the role of the 1-cent coin in everyday life. Describe the burst Queen Elizabeth II portrait used in 1980, the 7th or so effigy series, depending on exact portrait timing. Mention the legend around the bust and the reverse, the familiar maple leaf twig designed by G.E. Kruger Gray that dominated Canadian pennies for decades. Explain the metal composition, primarily bronze. Historically, by 1980, Canadian pennies were still bronze-eye, mostly copper with small amounts of tin and zinc. Note how composition influences weight, color, and how coins age, and how everyday circulation conditions, pocket wear, handling, oxidation affect appearance. Give a brief cultural aside on how pennies were used in 1980 compared to modern times. Small purchases, jar collections, and the sentimental value many collectors attach to older circulation issues. Discuss typical mintage numbers for 1980. Explain that 1980 saw relatively high mintage compared with older rare pennies. Most 20th century Canadian pennies were struck in large numbers. Explain what mintage number means. Total coins produced versus survival rate, how many survive in collectible condition. Emphasize rarity categories, common, lots of survivors, low value in circulated grades, scarce, lower mintage or fewer survivors, and rare, low surviving population. In high grade or with a true error variety. Walk viewers through why a high mintage coin can still be valuable in mint state, MS, or proof-like condition, because few survive uncirculated, and how that applies to the 1980 penny. Mention that varieties and errors, doubling, die cracks, planchet flaws, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks where applicable, are often what push a common date coin into collector interest. Get granular about the specific varieties and errors collectors search for on the 1980 penny. Describe common varieties, subtle die differences, small shifts in the maple leaf twig, repunched die features, and potential mint errors. Off-center strikes, how much off-center makes it collectible. Clipped plankets, double strikes, die cracks and cuts, and unusual toning or planchet anomalies. Explain what each looks like and how to tell whether something is a genuine mint error versus post-mint damage. Show or describe strongly visual cues, raised metal lines for doubling, abrupt breaks or raised lumps for cuts, and perfectly flat rims for off-centers. Encourage close-up photography under good light to document claims, and recommend a 10x loop or macro phone lens for viewers doing their own checks. Teach viewers the grading scale simply from poor to good to very fine, extremely fine, about uncirculated and mint state, MS60, MS70. Walk through specific pinpoints for the 1980 penny, how where first appears on high points, leaf tips, the queen's hair, and jaw. What to look for in O versus MS coins, luster, surface marks, contact marks. Explain why a single grade step up, for example, from BF to XF or O to MS, can multiply the price, and why surfaces, luster, and strike quality are often more important than toning when buyers are deciding. Emphasize the practical tip, have high-value candidates third-party graded PCGS, NGC, but only when the expected value justifies the submission cost. Otherwise, trade locally or sell to reputable dealers with clear photos. At caution about cleaning, never clean a coin if you hope to get top value. Cleaning is one of the fastest ways to ruin collectible value. Give a pragmatic price band overview. Typical values for circulated 1980 pennies, usually modest, often face value to a few dollars in worn grades. Higher values in uncirculated mint state, a few dollars to maybe tens of dollars, depending on MS grade, and significantly higher values for confirmed errors, varieties, or top-graded MS coins. Explain the factors that cause price variance, market demand, number of certified specimens trending, interest in small date varieties, condition, scarcity, and whether a coin is visually attractive. Exceptional patina, toning, can raise collector interest. Offer examples, hypothetical ranges. Circulated VF, XF examples might sell for pocket change to low single digits. AU, MS58 Plus could reach higher single digits to low double digits certified. High MS or verified error pieces could command several tens or more, depending on rarity. Remind viewers these are ballpark figures, prices change, and always recommend checking recent auction records or dealer lists before making big decisions. Discuss counterfeit and altered coin risks, particularly for higher grade items. Describe common counterfeit signals: incorrect weight, wrong diameter, inconsistent edge, poor detail in the portrait or leaves, and unnatural surfaces that suggest electroplating or retooling. Explain simple tests viewers can do at home. Weigh the coin and compare to standard specs. Measure diameter, compare with the verified genuine coin under magnification, and inspect the rim and fields for tooling marks. Talk about the warning signs of counterfeit errors. Opening parenthesis E.G.2. Perfect doubling that doesn't match known die characteristics. Recommend professional authentication for anything you plan to sell for a high price, and show how to document provenance, where the coin came from. High-resolution photos, receipts. To build beer confidence, give practical instructions for preserving pennies. Avoid PVC flips, they damage surfaces. Use inert holders. Mylar archival flips, coin capsules. Store in a stable, low humidity environment, away from direct light, and handle coins only by the edges or with nitrile gloves. Explain long-term storage gains: the fewer handling-related marks, the higher the potential grade later for display. Recommend acid-free paper holders or clear capsules for long-term investment. Consider slabbed, third-party certified coins if the value warrants the submission cost. Add a tip for organizing collections: maintain a spreadsheet or photo catalog. Date, mint mark, grade, acquisition, source, price paid. This helps when selling or insuring a collection. Walk through where to buy and sell 1980 pennies. Local coin shops. Advantages: inspect in-hand, negotiate coin shows and swaps, good for bargains and networking. Online marketplaces, eBay, specialist auction houses, weigh seller reputation and coin forums. A collector groups, trade and feedback. Explain how to read completed sales on auction sites to determine actual realized prices and why asking price differs from sale price. Suggest building relationships with a few reputable dealers and using multiple listing platforms for sale exposure. For higher value coins, consider auction houses with numismatic expertise, and for error coins or rare varieties, specialized error coin communities can be extremely helpful in valuation and sale. Make it personal and enjoyable. Share stories that give the 1980 penny character. A viewer who found a near-perfect 1980 in a change roll and later sold it after grading a famous classroom or family coin jar that surprised its owner. The thrill of spotting a subtle die crack that turns a common date into a collector's prize. Use these anecdotes to show viewers that while most 1980 pennies are common, the hunt and research are what make coin collecting addictive. Encourage viewers to check their own collections and piggy bank. Surprise finds happen all the time, and remind them that a coin story where it's been who found it adds emotional value beyond the market price. Wrap up with a concise checklist. 1. Inspect any 1980 penny under magnification. 2. Compare to genuine reference photos. 3. Weigh and measure if you suspect a rare variety. 4. Don't clean photograph instead. 5. Consider third-party grading for high-value finds. Invite viewers to post images in the comments community tab for a friendly first look or to join the live stream. Close with business-savvy advice. If you're selling, get multiple opinions and price references if buying. Demand good photos and return policies. End with a warm CTA. If you found this useful, smash that like button. Subscribe for more coin deep dive videos every week, and hit the bell. Drop a comment with your best penny story. I read every one. See you next time for another Coin Detective episode. Next up in today's video, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1982 Canadian 1 cent coin, also known as the 1982 Canadian penny. This small copper coin may look ordinary at first glance, but for many collectors, it holds hidden secrets of history, value, and minting variations that can turn an old penny into a piece worth much more than face value. So if you love exploring the hidden gems of Canadian coinage, make sure to watch this video till the end and subscribe to our channel for more detailed coin videos every week. The 1982 Canadian penny was issued by the Royal Canadian Mint, and it features the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse side, designed by Arnold Match, and the reverse side shows the iconic maple leaf twig designed by George Kruger Gray, symbolizing Canada's natural beauty and national -1. This 1 cent coin is made primarily of 98% copper with small traces of tin and zinc, giving it that rich reddish-brown color that older Canadian pennies are known for. In 1980, the Royal Canadian Mint produced the penny into major variations: the Ottawa Mint No Mint mark and the Winnipeg Mint Small W mark. The Ottawa Mint struck the majority of the coins for circulation, while the Winnipeg facility was still developing its coin production capabilities. This year is particularly interesting for collectors because of several minor die varieties and striking differences that make some coins rare and valuable. Now let's talk about mintage and production numbers. In total, over 774 million 1 cent coins were struck in 1982, making it one of the higher production years. However, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its value. Circulated coins are generally worth face value, but uncirculated and proof-like examples can fetch much higher prices, especially if they exhibit strong luster, sharp details, or unique die errors. Collectors often look for errors and varieties in the 1982 penny series. Some known varieties include double die obverse off-center strikes, planchet cracks, and die chips near the maple leaves or lettering. A clear, well-defined error can significantly boost the coin's worth. For example, an uncirculated 1982 double die penny has sold in auctions for $25 to $100 depending on the sharpness and visibility of the doubling. In terms of grade and condition, coins are graded on a scale from good G to mint state, MS65 and above. A circulated 1982 penny usually sells for around 1 to 5 cents, while a brilliant uncirculated BU example graded MS63 can be worth around $1 to $2 CAD. Coins certified by grading companies like PCGS or ICCS can reach higher values, especially if they fall into the MS65 to MS67 range with no visible blemishes or carbon spots. The proof-like place and specimen sets from the Royal Canadian Mint are also highly collectible. These coins are struck with specially polished dies, giving them a mirror-like appearance. A 1982 place penny from a mint set can range from $2 to $5, depending on condition and packaging. Coins kept sealed in their original Royal Canadian Mint sets generally retain higher value over time due to preservation quality. An interesting note for coin historians: 1982 marked one of the final years when Canadian 1 cent coins were made of solid copper. From 1997 onwards, pennies were gradually replaced by copper-plated zinc and later by copper-plated steel. This makes earlier copper pennies like the 1982 edition more desirable to metal collectors as well, due to their high copper content, which alone is worth more than 1 cent at current metal market prices. If you happen to find a 1982 penny with an unusual shine, a mint error, or simply in mint state condition, don't dismiss it. Get it appraised or checked by a coin dealer. Even common date coins in pristine condition can be worth several dollars, especially to collectors looking to complete year sets or type sets. The key is condition, rarity, and variety, the 3 pillars that determine coin value. Before we wrap up, make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload about coin values, rare finds, and collectible treasures from around the world. Drop a comment below and tell us what year your oldest Canadian penny is. Maybe we'll feature it in an upcoming video. Thank you for watching, and remember, every coin in your pocket might have a hidden story or a hidden fortune waiting to be discovered. Next up in today's video, we're diving deep into the story of the 1983 Canadian 1 cent coin, one of the classic copper-plated beauties that many people still find tucked away in old jars and drawers. Even though the Canadian penny was discontinued in 2012, coins like the 1983 1 cent remain iconic pieces of Canadian history, and some rare versions are worth far more than face value today. So stay tuned till the end as we explore its value, mint marks, varieties, and collector demand, plus how you can spot a special penny that could be worth big money. The 1983 Canadian penny belongs to the era when Canada was still using the 12-sided copper-plated zinc design featuring Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse and the maple leaf twig design on the reverse. This design, originally by G.E. Kruger Gray, symbolizes Canadian pride and nature's beauty. By 1983, the Royal Canadian Mint had transitioned from bronze to copper-plated zinc due to rising metal costs, making this year's issue historically important as part of that metal composition change. The 1983 1 cent coin features the right-facing portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Arnold Machen. The legend reads, Elizabeth to D.G. Regina. On the reverse side the maple leaf design bears the denomination 1 cent and Canada 1983. Each coin weighs 2.5 grams, measures 19.05, 2000 in diameter, and has a 12-sided shape. The coin's composition was 98% copper and 1.5% tin and zinc in earlier versions, but by 1983, it had mostly become copper-plated zinc, which makes detecting its composition interesting for collectors. The Royal Canadian Mint produced around 975 million 1-cent coins in 1983, a massive number for circulation. However, within this large mintage, some variations exist due to planchet errors, die cracks, and off-center strikes. Collectors often search for 1983 pennies with double die errors or proof-like sets struck in high quality. The proof-like 1983 penny available in mint sets has a mirror finish and commands higher prices today. A 1983 Canadian penny found in circulation is generally worth 1 to 10 cents depending on its condition. However, uncirculated or mint state examples MS63 or higher can range from $1 to 15 Canadian dollars and even more if perfectly preserved. Proof-like versions from mint sets can reach up to $25 or more, especially if they remain sealed in their original packaging with full luster and no carbon spots. Now let's talk about what can make your 1983 penny truly valuable. Error coins are the key here. Look out for off-center strikes, die chips on the maple leaf for doubling on the date, or lettering. Some coins exhibit planchet splits or missing plating errors, revealing zinc beneath the copper layer. These can fetch $50 to $200 CAD depending on severity and collector interest. Proof-like mint errors are extremely rare and can go even higher at coin shows or auctions. If you're searching for valuable 1983 pennies, always check both sides carefully under a magnifier. Handle coins by the edges to avoid fingerprints, and store them in airtight holders or PVC-free flips for the best value. Have your coin graded by a trusted service like ICCS or PCGS Canada, as certified coins generally attract higher bids from collectors and dealers. Remember, a small difference in condition can mean a big difference in value. Even though the penny is no longer in production, interest in Canadian 1-cent coins continues to grow. Collectors love building. Date runs from the 1960s to 2012, and the 1983 penny fits perfectly into this journey. Prices for top-grade examples have steadily increased in online auctions, especially for error and proof-like coins on platforms like eBay or heritage auctions. Well-preserved 1983 cents can sell for surprising amounts when determined bidders compete. Here's a fun fact: 1983 pennies marked the final period of stable copper plating before subtle composition shifts occurred again later in the 1980s. Another cool tidbit: although over 975 million were struck, finding one in brilliant uncirculated condition is now difficult because most were heavily circulated. Many Canadians still keep jars of old pennies, unaware that a 1983 with an error could be sitting among them worth 50 to 100 times its face value. So there you have it, the full story of the 1983 Canadian 1-cent coin, a small piece of metal that holds big historical and collector value. Whether you're a beginner or an advanced numismatist, coins like these remind us of Canada's rich minting heritage. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into rare coins, Canadian currency, and money worth collecting. Tap the bell icon so you never miss a new video, because your next coin find could be worth hundreds of dollars.